Hello YouTube, my name is Nero, and today we have some World of Warcraft, something a little bit different here on my YouTube channel. The last WoW video I made was many months ago for the Broken Shore event when that first came out. I ran through with my Death Knight just for fun, but today we're going to be talking about Nostalrius, which I think is a very interesting topic. Even if you're somebody who's never played WoW or isn't interested in WoW, I think the entire story behind Nostalrius and the idea of legacy servers is a very interesting topic for gaming in general because it's such a unique situation. So what is Nostalrius? For people that don't know, and I'm kind of approaching this from the perspective of most of the people watching this video probably don't know what it is, considering I don't run a World of Warcraft channel, but Nostalrius was the biggest vanilla World of Warcraft private server. And what is a vanilla private server? Well, it's actually a server ran by people, not actually ran by Blizzard. It's a privately run server for people to hop on and play the vanilla-based version of the game. World of Warcraft is very interesting in that it's a game that has been continually updated ever since 2004, and that's one of my favorite things about it, actually, is you can sign on to that game and go play, and you can walk through a zone that very clearly hasn't been really changed at all since 2004, and there's still items in the game from back then which are completely irrelevant because the game is constantly updated. Like, in the old version of the game, hunters actually used ammo. Like, you had to actually craft ammo or purchase it from vendors and stuff like that, whereas you don't need to do that anymore. And in fact, you haven't been able to do that for like 8 years or something like that. My numbers are probably off, but you could still occasionally find that ammo floating through circulation because people kept it in their bags. It's like this relic of the past. Like, this thing has not been used in the game for 8 years, yet a couple people still have access to it because they had it in their bags or something like that, or they put it in their bank. It's a really cool idea for a game, in my opinion, a game that is constantly updated. In theory, you could have made a character back in 2004 and still be playing that same character today in the Legion expansion. Of course, that character would have gone through so many changes because with every single patch, every single expansion, every single update almost, the game gets changed a bunch. The base version of a warrior back in the day, a vanilla warrior, is much different than a warrior is today in Legion, and some people don't like that. Every time they come out with like a new update or a new expansion, some people don't like the changes and they like the game back what it was previously. They liked vanilla WoW, or they liked it back what it was like back in the Burning Crusade, or they liked it back in Wrath of the Lich King, or back before this patch, or so on and so forth. And so to those people, they just stop playing the game and they try to play on private servers, which again are privately run servers by fans for fans. That is the whole point of a private server. Well, Nostalrius was the biggest one for vanilla World of Warcraft. Again, the 2004/2005 version of World of Warcraft. It was free to play, created by fans for fans, but Blizzard had to take down that server. They threatened legal action, and the reason why is they need to actively protect their copyright. If they don't protect their copyright, then they eventually lose control of that copyright, because there's going to be precedent set of like, okay, well, you didn't protect it against these guys, why are you trying to take it down? These guys, they have to have a zero tolerance policy when it comes to people working against their copyright, otherwise they lose rights to their copyright, right? So they had to go ahead and take down the server. They actually extended an open invitation to the Nostalrius group for them to come meet them at the Blizzard headquarters, and they did. Nostalrius went there, and both sides had a positive takeaway from the meeting, but nothing really happened after that. Nostalrius recently said that if Blizzard doesn't announce something about legacy servers at BlizzCon, then be sure that Nostalrius themselves will make an announcement, which is making a lot of people think they're going to somehow come back with a new Nostalrius server that people can play on, and they're going to host it in like Russia or somewhere where Blizzard can't actually legally take down the server. And as most people know, Blizzard did not announce anything in regards to legacy servers, and now Nostalrius is saying that they will in fact be making an announcement soon after BlizzCon is actually over. I find this to be such an interesting topic from the outside looking in because it's really unlike anything else that I've seen in gaming before. If I want to go play an old game, I can go play an old game. It's not difficult. I buy the game or I download it or I do something and I just pop it in and I can play the game. It's very easy. Whereas World of Warcraft, you can't really do that because the game itself has been continuously updated ever since 2004. The 12-year anniversary is actually right around the corner. And so if there was a point throughout the past 12 years that you really like the game and you don't like it right now, you can't just go back and play the old version of WoW, officially anyway. You can't just do it from the Blizzard servers. They don't offer legacy servers. If you want to do that, you need to go and play on a legacy server. Lots of changes have happened over the years. Like I was talking about the Cataclysm expansion, it's basically like they reworked the entire world. Like Orgrimmar, which is like the main city for the Horde, it was completely revamped in Cataclysm. Like, let's say you liked the old Orgrimmar and you liked how the game was back before they made the big changes in Cataclysm. Well, you can't go back on the official servers. You can't. You have to continuously keep moving forward. Whereas on private servers, you can go back and play the game whenever it is you decide was like the best version of WoW. Maybe some people really like the base game, what it was like back in 2004/2005, where everything was different, a lot more grinding, and you had a lot more different things you had to do as compared to now. It was a lot more of a deep game back then maybe people want to go back and play that. And if they want to, they have to play on a private server like Nostalrius. Maybe their favorite expansion was the Burning Crusade, and they really liked how PvP was set up in that particular expansion. That's how they had a lot of fun. They want to go back to the way things were back then. Or maybe their favorite expansion was Wrath of the Lich King, and they really liked endgame content back then. Like ICC was their favorite raid, and they want to go down to Lich King when it's actual current content and actually difficult. Because in current WoW, like you can go back and do those raids, but you're like 50, 60 levels higher than you need to be. Like you can go through and one-shot everything in that raid that is designed for like 20, 25 people. Like it's not the same going back and doing it now as when it's like actual current content. So people want to go back and play the game the way it was, but they can't do it officially, so they have to go to private servers, but Blizzard shuts down private servers because they have to protect their copyright. It's a weird situation, and I just want to make a video discussing it. Like I find it very, very interesting from the outside looking in. Now, Nostalrius says they will be making an announcement very, very soon. The idea from a lot of people is they are going to be relaunching their server, but they're going to be launching it from like Russia or somewhere where they're kind of like outside the jurisdiction of Blizzard. Like Blizzard can't take down the server if it's hosted in that particular area. Like the original Nostalrius server was hosted in France, and as a result, Blizzard was actually able to get to them. They were able to get them to shut down the server because of something with France. I don't know, but apparently they can't do it if it's in Russia. I don't understand the entire process. But I find it sad that people just want to play a game that they love, a game maybe they grew up playing, but they can't. It's not the same game. And if you're not a WoW player, it's difficult to describe just how much the game has really changed over the years. Like, if you just pick a class, right? My main class in WoW is a rogue, which is odd because I got into WoW because of Hearthstone, and I don't play rogue at all in Hearthstone. But if you just go to like Wowpedia, don't go to WoWWiki because WoWWiki sucks. But if you go to Wowpedia, which is basically like WoW's version of Wikipedia, just like type in poisons, right? You just read up on rogue poisons. There are so many poisons that they've been reworked so many times. So many poisons have been removed. There used to be old class quests. Like there is pages upon pages upon pages of old content that rogues used to do, and things about the rogue class and poisons in particular that just simply aren't in the game anymore. And that's like that for every aspect of the game. The game gets changed so ridiculously much. It's so difficult for me to describe how many things have changed over the years in this game that has been continuously updated for the past 12 years. And I find it sad that people maybe like a particular version of the game, again, but base vanilla game, or maybe a certain patch, maybe Wrath of the Lich King, or maybe they like Mists of Pandaria, whatever it is, right? And they can't go back and play. I find that sad because I'm somebody who's a very nostalgic gamer. I'm somebody who will go back and play games. You guys see my Let's Plays at times where I go back and play Borderlands, or I go back to Borderlands 2 on occasion and just walk through Borderlands 2 and just think about the great memories I have there, or talk about boss fights, or just tell stories about fun times I've had with my friends playing these old games. And they can't do that officially. WoW players, they can't do that officially. They have to go to private servers. And the worst thing about a private server is you're on this server, right, which is not really moderated as much. You know, there's really nothing protecting you there, I suppose. At any time, it can go down. Like that's the beauty of an official Blizzard server, is it's backed by Blizzard. You know, it's gonna be there basically forever. Like, is WoW ever gonna die? I can't tell. The game's almost 12 years old at this point, and it's going pretty freaking strong still. It's insane. And so if Blizzard themselves were to come out with a legacy server, like, you have the backing of Blizzard. You know, all of your progress is going to matter. It's going to stay there. You know, it's backed. It's an official product. Whereas if you're on a private server, at any time, that server could just shut down and be gone. All of your progress, everything you've done can go. And keep in mind, like, the original base World of Warcraft was much different than it is now, and it would take a ridiculous amount of time. Now, keep in mind, I didn't play back then. This is all like me, like, reading up on. I'm trying to become like a WoW historian almost, because there's so much to this game that I just read the Wowpedia articles when I'm bored, or if I'm trying to fall asleep or something like that, because there's so much to learn. But the base game itself, back in the day, took so ridiculously long to level up. Levels 1 through 60. Keep in mind, the level cap now is 110. But in the base game, it was 60. It would take you days, weeks of playtime. Like, it would take people months, I think, in total, just to get up to level 60, just so they could start working towards endgame content. And that's playing consistently. And the idea of, like, playing so so much, and then just one day logging on, having the server just not be there anymore because Blizzard took it down, or the people running it couldn't afford to keep the server going, or something like that. Like, not having the official backing of Blizzard, I can see why people would not want to do that. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, I wouldn't want to put all that time and effort in just to have it completely wiped. I'm somebody who really likes working towards stuff and having progression, and I think I would like vanilla WoW if I could actually play it, but I don't want to put time into a private server because I would just always be fearing that one day it would be shut down. Now, I actually did log in for the shutdown of Nostalrius. I was actually able to, like, I was walking around like a level 1, just like seeing as the server itself was being shut down by Blizzard. Like, it was the last day the server was up, and there were so many people. It was absolutely insane. And that's one of the coolest things, is an MMO feels like an MMO in WoW. Like, there were so many people, and it was sad to see all these people that just wanted to play a game that they grew up with or a game that they loved, but they couldn't, because it's just not how WoW works. It's continuously updated. So I hope in the future Blizzard does have legacy servers. I hope they have a lot of them. Like, I want legacy servers for Vanilla and TBC and Wrath of the Lich King and Cataclysm, MoP, even WoD. Like, have legacy servers. They have the money to do it. I don't see why they couldn't do it. It would make so many people happy if they could just go back and play the game they want to play and the way they want to play it. You know, for whatever reason, maybe they liked the end game content, particularly back in Wrath, or maybe they like PvP back in Vanilla and the Wrathy Basin or World PvP or whatever. You know, maybe they like that stuff. I wish those people could go back and play, because they're just gamers like you and I that want to play a game that they love, but for one reason or another, they can't, and I really feel for those guys. But ladies and gentlemen, that is going to conclude the video. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. I hope you guys all found it helpful and informative. Let me know your thoughts down there in the comment section below, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.